Here are the speeches for the 2020 DLB Award winners. Okay, so I think we should start with a no-brainer. This person's enthusiasm for cuts is evident. She's more thoughtful, thorough, and measured than I will ever be. Her work is selfless, and she always has the community at the forefront of her decisions. One nomination mentioned that when she lost an election to be JCR chair in first year, she said she wasn't going to just run for any old other position because she didn't want to be a JCR careerist. Instead, she thought about what she could do to make the change she wanted to see in cuts happen, and went on to be one of the best, if not the best, student trustee we've seen in my time here. Groundwork she did in that role 2 years ago still helps me on a day-to-day basis now. People can cite motions that she's brought to the JCR that have made it more accessible, and you could draw a full and comprehensive timeline of the positive impact she's had on cuts. She's fundamentally changed the direction of the JCR for the better, and who knows what she'll be able to do once she's doing it full time. A piece of advice that seems to get passed down from president to president is that to do presidency justice, all you really need to do is to leave the JCR in a better place than you found it, and Saskia has ticked that box before she's even started. So next up, this person is kind, well-liked and loved, funny and bubbly, committed and hardworking. They have 3 years of prepping under their belt, as well as being a team leader, and have sat on a number of JCR's committees. 2 years ago, I was outreach chair, and it was my baby, and I loved it fiercely. Because of this, the bar that I have set for measuring a good outreach chair is unreasonably high. This person saw that bar and exceeded it effortlessly. This year has seen the introduction of big new outreach events like Take Me Out and a whole new volunteering project, something that I know firsthand doesn't come about without a lot of legwork. Outreach has raised £4,200 this year, which is madness, and it does all come back to her. As one of her nominations said, few people represent the key values of college as well as she does. Okay, this one makes me emotional reading it. I was struggling to write up these little speeches, but this is the one I started with because for me it was one of the easiest. I have infinite respect and love for this person. Through their 4 years at Cuts, they've worked tirelessly and nearly always in the background to keep things afloat. They've been Art Soc exec for several years running, sat on numerous committees, jumping between positions such as JRO, Communications Officer, and Postgrad and Mature Students Rep. This has left them with an invaluable knowledge base about the JCR that I often call upon. They've been hugely important in representing student voice both in Cuts and across the university. It's mad how Cuts can have the best MCR president of any college without even having an MCR, and it's all down to her hard work and passion. As one nomination said, she really is always the first to chip in, both with the little tasks here and there, but then also the big, huge, daunting university-wide stuff. I'm so proud to work with her, I'm proud to be her friend, and I'm proud of everything she's going to do in the Students' Union next year. Okay, as a couple of their nominations say, we've got another obvious candidate up next. This person is reliable, efficient, and has an attention to detail that I love. They've been part of running, rowing, lacrosse, netball, swimming, and rounders, which is a little mad to me, especially as they've been exec for a number of those, such as captain of lacrosse, treasurer and president for running, and social sec for swimming. Even though I've known them for years, I'm still finding out that they're involved in things I never realised before. On top of this, they've been committed to social comm, pulling off an amazing feast in their second year as feast manager and running the social comm ship this year. These are both chunky jobs and all in the name of making sure that you guys all have fun. It's been a pleasure to have this person at the helm through events, as I know that I can trust them with any and every task that needs doing. They've also been great for a gossip and a natter when putting on endless chair covers, driving between menu tastings, and wandering around Newcastle while everybody else was in digi at refreshers. Cuts is an incredibly fun and active college with a lot of team spirit, and it's people like Maddie who make it so. "The boy is a dream," said one of his nominations, and I could not agree more. He is engaging, passionate, and has a wonderful way of making all of his team feel valued and heard, which must have something to do with all of the active listening training he's done. Another nomination described his unending warmth, which is beautifully accurate. This guy genuinely does care about every single person in college, and welfare runs in his blood. I'm so appreciative that he's used his time as male and senior welfare to crack on with all of the amazing supportive work that they do to a high quality, but also he's used his time to highlight liberation topics that are hugely important. A great example of this would be his Bringing Out the Bias campaign. He listens to your worries, for example about housing stresses, and then helps to produce actual solutions, information and campaigns to try and alleviate those stresses. I'm sure he will continue this pattern of dedication to students in his upcoming SU role. Cuts is truly blessed to have had this individual who sought so little recognition for his hard work, yet has made such a profound impact on so many students. Okay, we're ending on a real soft spot for me, and it's also worth noting that this individual had some truly chunky nominations, and we're talking essay level praises. They're truly dedicated to Cuts and worked throughout their time here to try and make it fairer and the JCR more accessible through new means of engagement. One nomination said that during their time in role as SRO, they ran close to 200 elections smoothly, tackling all tasks of advertising, communication, engagement, charismatically running meetings, setting up and running elections with great efficiency. Now, I haven't fact-checked that 200 number, and I might potentially add that elections haven't all been completely smooth, but the effort was definitely there. Another nomination suggested that his signature call of "Congratulations, you've been elected!" is one of the amazing contributions he has instilled in JCR tradition, along with the fact that he has diligently chauffeured people in and out of JCR meetings. While this might seem a bit silly, the guy has done a lot. He's increased the visibility of elections through Instagram, introduced SRO drop-ins, has a stall at Freshers Fair for GovCom now. He's helped to rewrite all of the election orders, implementing rules for sports and societies elections that try to tackle cliquiness. He's created the Cuts election question bank and candidates experience forms. He uses candidates group chats to keep everybody in the loop while running in elections, which, as many of you will know, is just a horrible time. And he is surprisingly good at making posters. He's prepped, been a founding member and exec of Cuts Ripped Off. He's been part of Crackass, Debating and FilmSoc, and very importantly, has played the role of detective in the postgrad murder mystery formal 2 years running. After 3 years, I can't imagine Cuts, let alone GovCom, without him.